Hello and welcome to Clive's Kitchen. I did promise you a kit brew. We're going to do three different beers out of one kit. So we're going to do homebrew. We better be drinking a homebrew. Back in a sec. Cheers. Right, let's show you what we've got on offer. Well, you can see a Young's Harvest mild kit. That's beer number 1. Any clues what we're going to be brewing for beer number 2? There's the inspiration. Bottle of Post Road. Some ingredients, some grains. Ooh, what are they? Bananas. What was I drinking the other day? So, let me show you what I'm going to do. Well, time to use these new pots. All cut out here, but I'm going to weigh my grains out and my hops. I'm going to get my water ready. I'm going to do straight in the bag and do 2 brews. We're going to do the pumpkin ale and banana beer. What we're going to do is split the extract can down. I've got a recipe and I've broke the recipe down so that I can make around about a gallon of each, and whatever I'm left over with the extract I'll just brew up the standard mild kit just in a more concentrated form. As I think I said earlier, we've got hop number 1, hop number 2. Not a lover of ginger, so I'm going to leave that out of the pumpkin ale. Cinnamon and some nutmeg. Now the ingredients do call for teaspoon, half a teaspoon measurements. Problem I've found with teaspoons is these are all the ones I've got in my drawer. And as you can see, they're all different sizes. We'll put them back where they belong. Here's a tip for you: don't use your teaspoons because you'll never find any set that are the same. Use a proper little measurer. This does half a tablespoon, or 1 tablespoon, half a teaspoon, and a teaspoon. We're going to be using this just to make sure. Also handy for when you're priming sugars on your bottles, so you don't get undercarbed or overcarbonated, because I have found with my Pilsner kit some bottles are more carved up than others, which was a case of a bit of random use of the sugar and the teaspoons. So I should be using this for better accuracy. So I'm going to weigh these grains out for my 2 beers. I'm going to use the same amount of grains in both, because basically I couldn't find hardly any information out on making a banana based beer. So I'm going to basically duplicate the pumpkin, but instead of putting pumpkin in I'm going to use banana, and we'll see what happens. And in a few weeks time, once we've fermented it out, we'll bottle it up, let it mature, see what happens. So we'll know what we'll be drinking in the future on a Homebrew Wednesday. Or try to drink, we never know. But anyway, I know pumpkin ale's not seasonal around about this time, but the only time you can get normal pumpkins in the UK is obviously coming up to Halloween, and this is pretty hard to get hold of in the UK as well. There are a few American style outlets, grocery store specialists online that you can buy pumpkin from. The only place I could find tinned pumpkin was Waitrose, and these are 425 gram tins. The recipe, breaking the recipe down that I'm taking, I should use slightly more, but we'll see what happens. I don't want a beer that's overly pumpkiny. I did try the Samuel Adams which was okay, but I did find it the bitterness of the pumpkin a little bit too much. I tried the Post Road, which was a real nice beer, but it lacked some pumpkin flavour. So hopefully I'm going to merge the two and come somewhere in between. And obviously if this works okay, then that's an ideal beer for someone to knock up September time. Get it brewed in September and bottled up, ready for Halloween this year. But we'll see what it tastes like when it comes out. The proof of the pudding is in the tasting, as they say. So, for a minute, you can go and grab yourselves a beer, and I'm going to measure out my grains. Catch you in a mo. Well, you're going to have missed some of that because I think I was pressing record when I thought I'd pressed pause, and when I pressed play I'd pressed pause. So we've added the banana and the grains in if we haven't already got this bit of footage. 65 degrees is our sparge temperature for 1 hour. I'm just balancing out the temperatures. They seem to be okay now. I'll have to knock this one down. We've added the banana, so we're now going to do the pumpkin. Mix this bad boy in. Well, this one seems to be fairly happy at the right temperature. And this one's well, the clips are working. I was half expecting everything to be dumped in and then the bag disappear inside the pot. So I'll go and do some more washing up and let it mash. And I hope you've now on your second homebrew, because I soon shall be. Catch you in a moment. Well, I don't know about you, but time for another beer. Well, we're just about there now. I'm just waiting for my strike water to heat up. Not my strike water, you know what I mean. Always be lively. Struggled with the temperatures a little bit with big pot on a small ring. As I said, the fast boil pot was making it go too hot. That seems to have balanced now, the one with the pumpkin, but the banana one, I'm a little bit here and there on that one. I'll put my other probe in there I was reading about 63. This piece of garbage I bought, I don't know whether you can see that. Look around the other one. It's reading 84 degrees centigrade, while the other one is reading 61. It was 5 degrees out, which I allowed for. But during the course of the mashing, it's gone tits up. I've called out my other temperature probes. Basically, I've got a lot of multimeters with temperature readings on them. Yeah, it's still reading 80 degrees, and a traditional thermometer is reading 61. So this is a pile of garbage. Nearly up to strike temperature. I'll be back with you in a few secs for me and you. Back again, right, here we go. Off the heat. Clips come in handy anyway. Right, 1 litre of water at 75 degrees. I've just been outside for a little while, let the dogs out. Came back in and it smelt fantastic in here. Right, that's number 1. I won't film the other one because obviously it's going to be exactly the same. So catch you in a minute. Right, we're back. As you can see, I've got my bear goggles on because I had to do a little bit of reading because I thought something's wrong here when I was measuring out the extract. It's not 3 bears out of 1 kit, it's 2 bears out of 1 kit. I read the ingredients wrong. Always follow the rule of thumb of a carpenter. Measure twice, cut once. So it was a good job we did, else we would have been in a mucking fuddle. So I've added the extract because there was no point in showing you that because we would have had 10 minutes of a thick syrup pouring out the can. So we're just going to split a litre of water over this, rinse the tin out, and the little bowl I've used to measure the rest out with. Add that to the pot, bring it to the boil, wait for the break and add the hops. So that's it. Time will tell, as they say. Well, it's been my first time I've ever done a partial. First dabbling into grains. Any other time it's always been this, oh yes, and be aware that picking a can up with hot boiling water and it might hurt your fingers. Unless you've done a job like me before where you've got no feeling in the tips of your fingers. Else you might drop it and make a mess. Anyway, back in a moment. Right, well that's it. Just pop this in. And that's good, the lid didn't fall off. Trying to bring these up and drop the hops in. And we'll be back again. Right, well, we're just waiting for the boil. I'll give you a rundown on what my plan is during the boil. Got to bring it up to temperature and add 8 grams of fuggles. 30 minutes into the boil it calls for the Irish moss to be added. 50 minutes into the boil add the final hops, which I'm using the East Kent Goldings for 5 grams. And 5 minutes left on the boil is to just add the cinnamon and nutmeg to the pumpkin. And that's about it, guys, so back shortly. Hot break time. Soon be ready, guys. Well, we're in and we're off. So what do you do for the next half an hour? More washing up. So, update. I couldn't get any Irish moss. Scottish moss. Welsh moss. That's only fair. You know how much trouble the Celts have always been. Right, now we gotta wait for that. Moss in. Few more minutes and then it's time for the second edition of hops. And while I'm waiting, although you don't have to, here's a bit of useless trivia for you. What film starred Al Pacino, Donald Sutherland and Natasha Kinski? And it also had me in it. Answers in the comments box. Well, did you guess yet? Have you guessed yet? Still waiting. Be right back. Puff puff pass, puff puff pass. We ain't passing. It stinks in here. Ooh. Drink on him malt liquor. Shit. My glass is empty. Time for another one. No, not the Brew tuber in New Zealand. Empty glass. Old English ale, always cloudy. That's why they had these mugs, so you couldn't see. Time for the last hops. More washing up. By the way, did you see some bloke in a black mask? Sure there was someone in here already. Right, 5 minutes remaining. Spice one. Right, well that's it. Just you let that stuff work its magic and it'll be time to take it off the boil. That's how inaccurate this temperature meter is. Oh well, good job we got some backups. I always like to have a backup plan, a plan B, a plan C. Anyway, we're done. Time to turn the boil off. And while they just cool for a few minutes, I'm going to sterilise the demijohns. And we'll be back yet again for another exciting instalment. Honestly, it is exciting, really is. You know, well, at least pretend it is. I know it's all been done before, but it's new to me. Right, in for the home run. Fermenters are being sterilised, pots with wort are being cooled. We're on the last leg now at last. Not the last homebrew though. Just gotta sort out straining it now. Okay, time to strain the banana. Let me use the muslin again. Obviously this is going to take a while, so I'll just show you the start. Be the same process for the other one. Interestingly, the seeds have come to the surface, and to look at them you wouldn't be able to tell which seeds come from what fruit. They look exactly the same, tiny little seeds. It's a good job I can remember which pot's which. They get a label. Well, that's it. Temperature's ready. Time for the wee yeasties. Well, that's it. It's done. One pumpkin ale, one banana ale. Now, which one was which? Oh. No, I'll put a label on. Well, I'll have to keep you updated in the forthcoming Homebrew Wednesdays now. Where are we? Start gravities were the pumpkin, adjusting for the temperature, 1042. The banana, 1034. Well, I thought the banana would have been sweeter and been higher, but there we are. That's it. Time will tell, as they say. Anyway, this has been a Norfolk Hillbilly production in association with Homebrew. Cheers! Catch you later, guys. I think that's what you call active fermentation.